It's a tricky thing, because they were little, and you got to tell them in a way that they can get in their life, you know? So I remember we sat the kids down. I said, listen, love is tricky. Like, you love your dog, right? You love your dog. You would do anything for your dog. You even give your dog food off your plate when you're not supposed to, because you love your dog, right? One time, I remember your mom and I were like, don't give the dog ham, but you did, because you love your dog so much. Okay, so that's why we're getting a divorce. Because you don't listen. And we can't take it anymore. It's too difficult. So we're gonna move to separate homes and each have you for half the week, because neither of us wants to be with you all the time. And it's very sad, because I love your mother very, very much. And she loves me very much. But we hate you more. So that's how we handled it. Just did our best. I remember my father was tough. My dad was tough, Mexican father. I remember one time I was 6 years old, I was crying, and my father said, I'll give you something to cry about. And then he fucked me in the ass. And you know what? He was right. I did cry. And I realized that what I had been crying about was not that important, you know? So, you know, you gotta teach your kids, man. You gotta teach your kids. By the way, I should say to you that that's not true. It's not a true story. I should say that, because my dad's still alive, and he could do... You don't even want to know how we made this shit. It was a bloodbath. When we made that shirt, we just ripped the back off the Honduran kid that was working there. Some things that are terrible happening in the world, you just kind of give up. Like in New York, there's a lot of homeless people. I mean, there's a lot of homeless people here. I mean, not in here. There's none in here. There's none in here. There's none in here. Not even with a ticket, he ain't getting in here. They're not allowed to go where we go. They're just not allowed. That's the one part we all agree with. I don't know what to do about the homeless, but they're not coming in here. If you don't have your own indoors, you can't come into other people's indoors. Those are the rules. Those are the rules we live by. I've done benefit shows for homeless people where homeless people weren't allowed in the show. There's whole places they don't get to, like the airport. They've never even seen an airport. You never been at your gate and some guy's like, hey, I'm trying to get to Tokyo. Can you help me out? But they're everywhere. I mean, I was in Phoenix, Arizona, 120 degrees. 120 degrees. Homeless people are just standing outside at intersections with a sign that says, you know, help, I'm on fire. And but you can't, you know, you're in a white BMW, like, sorry, I can't. I can't. There's glass here. I don't know how to help you, you know. And in New York, you see them everywhere. You walk through them, and you got to make choices, because you can't help all of them, and you can't help any of them. So you choose who to lie to. I don't have that. No, I don't know things in any of my... I'm sorry. Like, there's this homeless guy who lives... I mean, he doesn't live anywhere. But, I mean, by definition, he is at large. But he's often seen on the corner by my house. That's where he is every day. That's where he reports to nothing every day. And I walk by him every day, because I go to the same store every day. I go to Claire's. I don't know if you know Claire's. It's a children's jewelry store. I go in there every morning, buy a handful of rhinestone earrings. I run home. Anyway. I walk by this homeless guy, and every morning he goes, "Hey, man, can you help me out?" I go, "Okay." I give him $5. And then on the way home, like 20 minutes later, he said, "Hey, man." He doesn't remember, which is fine. But I don't want to give him another $5, you know, because I only have a few million. I don't know why. I should. Clearly, I should. I don't know what makes me go like, you had your $5, young man. What am I going to spoil him? Give him the fucking money. Anyway, I'll tell you a little about my life. I was raised in an orphanage about a block from my parents' house. And that's a joke, but my father, this is true, my father is Mexican. And, hey, you're not supposed to be here. Anyway, no, but I won't, it's all right. Good for you. Naughty, naughty. All right. My father's Mexican. My mother is dead. So I'm half dead on my father's side. On my mother's side, my father's Mexican. A lot of people don't believe I'm Mexican. And when I tell them I'm Mexican, they say stupid things like, "Well, how can you look like that?" What do you mean, how? Like I'm trying not to look Mexican? Like, no, look, see? I'm not Mexican. Then I get home like, "Señor." My parents divorced when I was about 10, and now I have 2 kids, and their parents are divorced too, which is interesting. I remember when we got divorced, we told the kids, because you should tell your kids if you're getting divorced. Don't just do it and wait for them to be like, "Hey, yeah, duh, fucking," You gotta tell them. But so, I remember it's a tricky thing, because they were little, and you gotta tell them in a way that they can get in their life, So I remember we sat the kids down. I said, "Listen, love is tricky. Like you love your dog, right? You love your dog. You would do anything for your dog. You even give your dog food off your plate when you're not supposed to because you love your dog, right? One time, I remember your mom and I were like, don't give the dog ham, but you did because you love your dog so much. Okay, so that's why we're getting a divorce. Because you don't listen. And we can't take it anymore. It's too difficult. So we're going to move to separate homes and each have you for half the week because neither of us wants to be with you all the time. And it's very sad because I love your mother very, very much. And she loves me very much. But we hate you more. So that's how we handled it. Just did our best. I remember my father was tough. My dad was tough, Mexican father. I remember one time I was 6 years old, I was crying, and my father said, I'll give you something to cry about. And then he fucked me in the ass. And you know what? He was right. I did cry. And I realized that what I had been crying about was not that important. You know? So, you gotta teach your kids, man. You gotta teach your kids. By the way, I should say to you that that's not true. It's not a true story. I should say that because my dad's still alive and he could do it again. So, yeah, didn't really happen. All right. No. Anyway. You gotta teach your kids, and it's tricky, Like some people say you should tell your kids not to curse, but I can't do that because that's what I do for a living is cursing. But I didn't want my kids to be unpopular, so I used to say to them, listen, There's no bad words. There's no bad words. All words are okay, but there's some words that certain people get upset when you use them. So if you're going to use those words, look at the person first and try to guess if they're that kind of person. It's tricky teaching your kids right from wrong because people disagree about right and wrong in such big numbers. Like millions of people think that abortion is wrong, and millions of people think that abortion is great. So that's confusing. Personally, I don't think, here's what I think. I think you should get an abortion, right or wrong. Right or wrong, you should get one. You should get as many abortions as you can. I think you should try to get a lot of abortions. But here's why, because it creates jobs. More abortions, more jobs. For the nurses and the doctors and the dumpster guy, everybody gets a job. They need to work. How's he gonna feed his kids if you don't kill your kids? That's what I'm saying. We're all in it together. Abortion is a big topic right now, of course, because Roe v. Wade was overturned. Roe versus Wade, we all know what this was. Roe versus Wade, it was a court case. Roe was a woman who wanted an abortion, and Wade was the baby, I guess, I don't know. I'm just guessing. I never found out who Wade was. I'm just guessing that's the baby. But anyway, now we need to make laws in place of that. Every state has to make their own law about abortion, and they need to listen to the people. And I think the American people, on average, want the same thing. Most Americans want the same thing. They want abortion to be available, but just keep it down a little bit. Just, you know, yeah, go ahead, but don't be like, woo-hoo! Like, just, you know, take it easy on that. Take it easy on that, that's all. So we need a law that kind of gives you that. Here's what I think the law should be. You can get an abortion any place, anytime, but you have to eat it. I think because that'll make you hesitate a little. Fuck, I gotta eat it? I better do it soon. I'm just trying to come up with something that makes everybody happy. It's a tricky subject. Some people have very extreme opinions about it. Some people think that condoms are murder. Some people think contraception is murder. If you put a condom on, you stop the sperm from getting to the egg. You killed and murdered a possible baby. By that logic, I could say that any woman that won't fuck me is a murderer, which... Let me tell you, there's a lot of murdering bitches walking around out there. It's not cool. And murder is like, it's weird, because like, when is murder murder? Like, if you kill somebody, it's like, hey, he's a murderer. The people go, huh? We got to talk about it. He killed him, but he might not be a murderer. Because if you murder, like if you kill somebody, you know what they based your sentence on? They based it on how you felt when you killed them. That's weirdly important. They say, okay, you shot him in the face, but like, what was up with you, man? Like, what was going on? I think if you murder somebody, they should base your sentence on how old the person was that you murdered. How much of their life did you take? That should be your sentence. Like if you see a 3-year-old girl in a park and you just kick her to death. It's a hypothetical. Fucking, I'm not advocating that. I'm not asking you to do that. I'm just asking you to just vividly imagine just kicking a 3-year-old kid who you know till they're dead. You gotta keep going till they're... If you kill a 3-year-old, you usually do a lot of time. That's what, unless he's got like diabetes, whatever. You got to figure all that in. But what if you kill a guy who's like 98? He's 98. He's not even a good 98. He's in a hospice. You don't know what hospice is? It's like a hospital, but they don't try to help you. It looks like a hospital, but the nurse just goes, yeah, he's dying. So what if a guy's 98 and he's laying in a hospice and he's got cancer and COVID and AIDS and he's just, and they already unplugged him. Nobody's even in there. And he's like, then you walk in. You should get like 5 minutes for that. That's what I'm saying.